Quade, well played on the weekend. Great return. Mate, I was going to ask you, just in the discussion on Channel 9, you gave Sonny Bill Williams quite a nod for his help in your revival. Can you just explain a little bit more your relationship with Sonny and how he's kept your positivity and your drive going? And he mentioned you hadn't paid rent for 2 months. Could you tell us when that was?
Yeah, like Sonny's like an older brother to me. I'm very grateful and fortunate to have a guy like that in my life, and you know, many other people that have been able to be great examples of, you know, what it is to be a good, strong man, a great athlete, and Sonny has all those qualities in spades. So, if anything, you know, I think it's, you know, we talk most days, you know, able to have great conversations, good, honest conversations, you know, and often not even about football or being athletes or, you know, some of the struggles or some of the highs that we've both been through. It's just more about everyday stuff, you know. So again, like he's just a great example of what it takes to be disciplined every day, you know. And again, like I said, I'm so fortunate to have a guy like that in my life, and you know, hopefully, you know, I can be, you know, that example to a lot of the young guys in our squad.
When did you spend time at his place? Was that in Auckland or was that over here?
Yeah, in Auckland. I think it was 2018 off the top of my head, or over the sort of Christmas period, 2017 and going into 2018 before, you know, I had a season playing for my local club at South Magpies there.
Have you ever been in the ring with Sonny for a sparring session, and how did that go for you?
Yeah, like we sparred a couple times, especially leading into his last fight. But you know, like everything we do is, you know, about trying to grow. So I was there, able to help him, you know, prepare for his fight, you know, and just be able to go through a training session together. You know, this was for me on my holiday period, so being able to stay in shape, be able to learn, because boxing is something that obviously I have a great passion for, and something that later on down the track, you know, I'd love to continue to do and continue to pursue.
Probably last one from me, Quade. Immediately post-match, when you're interviewed by Channel 9, you seem to have a really good balance of where your footy fitted in with a bigger picture of life. How important is that to keep in perspective that this has been one really good win for Australia and a good return for yourself, but obviously there's other pieces coming forward, and how important is that balance in sort of our book?
Yeah, I think that perspective is everything. Understanding, you know, sort of the role in, you know, our everyday lives, and the important part of, you know, our lives and how we approach every day. There's going to be moments, you know, along that journey. So for us as football players, you know, rugby games, you know, whether you win, whether you lose, understanding that the game of life is the one that we really want to win. And that's the part that, you know, I think if you can put your focus and keep in the forefront of your mind, you know, from the moment you wake up, you know, the ability to have things set up that allow you to grow, surround yourself with the people that are going to uplift you, you know, they're going to challenge you, and I think that's the great thing about, you know, even for myself, being able to have the opportunity to come into this environment. You got players, you got great young players, so Noah, being able to train with him, you know, continue to push each other to learn and grow. You know, being able to have conversations with him throughout the week about, you know, his game, about where he is as a man. You know, some of the lessons and life lessons that I've been able to go through, be able to shed some light on some of those, and for him to get to know me better as a person and as a man. So I think that when you look at it like that, you know, the growth that we will all have as men, as players, and the games, they'll happen. They'll be part of that journey as well. And you know, we can really, aim to, obviously the goal is to win every game. But if we grow as people and as men and as a team, that stuff's just going to happen along that journey.
Rob Valetini, can I just ask, I know that you play with Noah week in, week out, and it must be great to have seen him play as many tests as he has this year. When Quade was named and when he was playing, what were the differences that you noticed by having someone like his experience out in the field?
Yeah, I guess probably the difference probably
the wrinkles, eh?
The wrinkles.
Yeah, it's definitely the wrinkles.
No, I wouldn't say there's much difference. I think just for me on my game, I just go out there and try to do my job, and as tens, I guess they lead the team and tell us what plays to run and and give us comms and whatnot. And I guess just for me, I just go out there and do my job. I don't really see too much difference. Obviously, Noel's younger, and Quade, is an experienced 10, and and I think Noel's probably fortunate to have someone like Quade in this team. Someone he can learn off, and that's only going to help him get better.
Quade, can I ask, it sounds like the governments have made changes this morning, which means you're likely to get some Australian citizenship sort of as soon as today or the end of the week. Mate, for someone who's tried 4 times, I think you said a little while ago to get it, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, just like to give my thanks to Christina Keneally and her office for sort of going into bat for me, and the Australian public. The Australian public put a lot of pressure, and also the media, yourselves, put a lot of pressure on the government to take a look at not only my case, but a lot of other people that have sort of fallen in the same position. So it's something that's not over the line yet. It's great to see that the law or the rule has been amended to make it a little bit easier for us, but the process is still ahead, and so until I get that, I'll just continue to put my focus on football. But again, I'm truly grateful to Senator Christina Keneally, the Australian public, and my teammates, and obviously our coaches as well, because probably without playing that game, it may not have been able to come to fruition.
Hey, what do you think of the timing of the announcement today, that it's come about 24, 48 hours after you tell Australia to win?
Sorry, I just missed majority of that.
Yeah, what do you make of the timing of the announcement from Minister Hawke, given it's come 48 hours after the win?
Yeah, it kind of is what it is. As I said, I think that there was a lot of pressure from the Australian public, the media. Obviously, Senator Keneally was putting a lot of pressure on behind closed doors. I'm just truly grateful for that support. I'm sure myself and there'd be countless numbers of other people who would be seeing the news today and see that little glimmer of hope. But it's one of those things, you just continue to try, be persistent with that, and if it comes to fruition in the next couple of days, weeks, or even months, as I said, there's more to being Australian than just a piece of paper. So it'll be a little bit of a cherry on top, but it's not over the line yet.
Do you know how long it could be until you are a citizen? What's the understanding now?
I'm not too. I literally just walked out of the gym, and I had a few messages on my phone. There's still a couple of hundred of messages that I haven't had the opportunity to go through, but I only just saw the news, so I haven't really had any opportunity to filter through that and see what the next steps are from here. But I'll probably have conversations in and around that at some point today. But we've got a fair bit of training to go through today and get ourselves ready for the match on the weekend. It's going to be a really tough outing against the world champs, but So there's a lot more important things ahead than my citizenship.
Quade, sorry. You've been asked about it quite a few times over the past month, and even again on Sunday. And the tone every time has seemed to be one of humour. Like, I think you were asked and was in a joking manner about this issue. Is it fair to say that you haven't seen that it hasn't been a funny thing for you, that it hasn't been a humorous aspect of your career, and that it's been, and maybe give us some kind of understanding of how it's actually impacted on you and how it's made you feel?
What is that, sorry? The citizenship stuff?
Yeah, sorry. So when you've been asked about it, you've been asked in kind of a humorous, as if people have been making jokes about it. You seem to be quite, battered those back. Has it been, I'm assuming it's not been a humorous thing for you. How has it actually affected you, and how has it made you feel?
No, as I said, it hasn't truly affected me in any way, apart from when I was obviously playing overseas in Japan. We've got the situation around the world with COVID, and people being able to not being able to come and go as they please from their home country. And this is a place where my family, I've lived for over 20 years. So to be able to not know if I was going to be able to come back to my home, be able to come back and see my family or anything like that, that was quite a daunting feeling when you're living in Japan, applying your trade in Japan. So that for me was the main reason of being able to sort of apply for my citizenship. And when it was denied, I was already in the country, so I was happily at home. So for me, it didn't seem to play too much of a role in my everyday life, but I knew that there was a lot of people in similar positions, So, and the reason why I just kind of batted it off, because I knew that there was a lot of people working hard behind the scenes, and for me, there was nothing I could really do to speed that process up or anything like that, but apply for it again, So I was just focusing on my everyday, making sure that I had, been in here, being able to train, being able to apply myself in a positive manner for the guys around me and prepare the guys best I could as a teammate for the games that we had coming up.
Bobby, just a couple for you. Stepping up, I believe that was your first game against South Africa. A lot is made about their sort of imposing pack. What was the feeling like sort of after the game, and what have you taken out of that result? Yeah,
obviously they've got a big forward pack there, some big bodies there. As a team, we've had to plan this, the whole week last week to try and diffuse their big bodies, by chopping them or, trying to be physical as well. And on the weekend, I think everyone saw, that we didn't take a step backwards, we took it to them. And I guess for us, just trying to build on from that game, I think coming up this weekend, I think they won't be too happy with their results on the weekend, and I think coming this Saturday, I think they're going to come out and try do one on us.
So I'm listening to Quade talk about balance. It resonates with what you were saying before the Super Rugby AU final for me. You're talking about finding that other thing outside of rugby. How has finding that balance within your life, both on and off the field, sort of helped you cement a spot in this Wallabies side?
Yeah, I guess just with free time and whatnot, just trying to get away from rugby, especially with the boys here. It's pretty hard as well with COVID and whatnot. I guess when we're not training and stuff, just trying to get away, trying to head down to the beach and, trying to get away from training. Because, you're always around doing training and I guess on the computers doing your homework. And I guess, just trying to get a break from rugby, because if you think about rugby too much, you can play a big role, of overthinking the game and, yeah.
Rob, your name?
You've spoken a lot previously about all the good things away in Japan, being able to get your body right, not playing so much rugby there with COVID last year. But What about from an on-field perspective? What have you picked up about the game potentially that you didn't maybe not appreciate beforehand, or I guess that you didn't think might come as a learning from Japan?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's really anything that I didn't appreciate about the game. As I've said many a times, is that I feel like in Japan, being able to be away, be in a different environment, you work out ways to go about your everyday life and understand that the role that rugby plays in that, and the role that your everyday life, setting up your daily, living in a zone that is at a certain level, that follows over into the way you approach your training, the way you approach the meetings, the way you have everything in order, fitted around your life and not the opposite way around. So I think that beforehand, rugby was the focal point, and your life kind of comes second. So when you look at it like that, the pressure that you put on yourself, the highs that you live in when you get a win, the lows that you live in if you lose, you can't be living your life based on that, based on an outcome. So you look at the game on the weekend, there's a kick that, if I miss that kick, do I go home and feel really upset and down on myself? If I get it, do I go out and celebrate and think feel like I'm the man or something like that? It's more so just understanding the process and the journey. And I think that being in Japan really allowed me to have time to be able to put my focus into my life as a whole and understand the role that rugby played in that.